Find out which couples from 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 Day Season 4 are still together. What a season! 90 Day Fiance, before the 90 Day Season 4 was full of drama, suspense, heartbreak, highs, lows and everything else fans expect from TLC's reality TV series. By the season finale, Jeffrey Paschal and Varia Molina and David Murphy and Lana were the only couples to end up getting engaged, both huge feats. Jeffrey proposed to Varia for the first time during their first visit together in Russia, only to have her say not now. Taking it as a no, Jeffrey moved on with his friend Mary Wallace 3 months after returning to the United States. So it was a huge shocker when Varia showed up at Jeff's doorstep to win him back while Mary was in his living room. Jeffrey ultimately chose Varia over Mary and he popped the question for a second time in a fairy tale proposal. Of course, Varia said yes. David's online girlfriend Lana showed all signs of being a catfish until she finally showed up to meet him in Kiev, which was their first in-person meeting after 4 previous failed attempts and 7 years of dating online. They spent less than a week together, but that was enough time David needed to decide Lana was the one and he got down on one knee before returning to the United States. Another surprise during the season was Lisa baby girl Lisa Ham and Usman Sojaboy are actually making it down the aisle, because the couple faced major obstacles fought constantly during Lisa's visit to Usman's native country of Nigeria. Avery Warner and Ash Neck were on the brink of a nasty split during the season, but they were able to get their relationship back on track before the end of Avery's trip to Australia. They seemed even more in love during their tearful goodbye at the airport before Avery returned to America. Unfortunately, other couples didn't get their happy endings. The franchise's first ever same-sex couple Erica Owens and Stephanie Matto couldn't seem to work past their issues and split before Stephanie's scheduled flight back home to the United States after visiting Erica in Australia. Big Ed Brown and Rosemary Vega split during what was supposed to be a romantic tropical island getaway, and Ed returned to America from Rosemary's native country of Philippines as a single man. Meanwhile, Darcy Silva and Tom Brooks's in-person breakup in New York City was one of the most cringe-worthy splits in franchise history. The franchise also saw its first ever real catfish after Yolanda's online boyfriend The Williams was exposed as a fraud. When the cast returned for the tell-all, they all shared much anticipated status updates on their love lives. Are they still together? Did they work through their issues? Scroll through the gallery below for an update on the 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Day Season 4 couples. Jeffrey and Varia. The couple ended up getting engaged after he proposed for the second time on the season finale. But because of Paschal's pending assault charges, he confirmed he was not invited to join the season 4 tell-all during an Instagram live on June 7. He was also said he was told he was not allowed to reveal the status of his relationship with Varia because of their NDA. Paschal also hinted that, out of solidarity, the Russian radio host also decided not to participate in the tell-all. Since it's still unclear if they're still together or not, it seems like fans will have to wait a little bit longer to find out where they stand. David and Lana. The Las Vegas native seemed confused about the status of his relationship with Lana. The couple got engaged on the season finale, but when he returned for the season 4 tell-all in May, David confirmed he had not spoken with the Ukrainian beauty in 6 days. He said the reason why they hadn't spoken was because it was difficult for her to use the keyboard on the iPhone he gifted her because of her nails. David also said she still had not removed her profile from Anastasia Date, the site where they met. Despite all of the red flags, he seemed adamant that they were still engaged despite the lack of communication. He even fiercely defended their relationship from co-star Big Ed Brown, who claimed David was being scammed. But eventually, toward the end of his segment, David finally accepted that they were broken up. She told me a couple weeks ago that all she wanted was a white picket fence and a simple life with me, traveling in the RV. She loves that idea, but right now, today, I think we're not together, he said. That's not saying we won't be together in the future, but we're not together now, he clarified. Stephanie and Erica. This couple started off strong in the beginning of season 4, but by the finale they were over for good. When they reunited for the tell-all in May, they hadn't seen each other in a long time and it seemed like there was still bad blood between them. They continued to fight during their segment as they rehashed the issues that plagued their relationship while Stephanie was in Australia visiting Erica. When tell-all host Sean Robinson asked if there was a chance for the ladies to eventually become friends, Erica said, "Absolutely not. I think because there's so much hurt and emotion still that's raw and that we're dealing with, the very best case scenario is that we can be friends from afar," Stephanie added. So support each other from a distance. That's it. That's the most I can hope for. Avery and ASH. The couple ended the season on a sad, yet positive note. As their first in-person visit with each other in Ash's native Australia came to an end, they agreed to continue their long-distance relationship. Before Avery returned to the United States, they made plans for Ash to visit her in Seattle in the near future. But things went downhill fast. By the time they filmed the tell-all in May, they were already broken up. Darcy and Tom. Their relationship ended during a super tense scene during season 4, where Tom made a rude comment about Darcy's weight. He apologized to his ex during the tell-all, and while Darcy accepted his apology, it doesn't seem like she would be willing to give their relationship another go anytime soon. Ed and Rose. They broke up for good during the season. When they reunited virtually at the tell-all, there was still some bad blood between the exes and it doesn't seem like they would ever be able to reconcile. Lisa and Usman. They tied the knot during the season, but by the time they returned for the tell-all, it seemed like things were tense. Lisa revealed they blocked each other on social media but insisted they were still together. In June, nearly 1 month after they filmed the tell-all, Lisa confirmed she was done with their relationship. Since the couple is known to be on and off, there's a chance they may reconcile in the future. Yolanda and Williams. Williams ended up being the first ever catfish in franchise history, but it took a private investigator to confirm that he was not who he said he was for Yolanda to accept it. When she returned for the tell-all, she hadn't had any contact with Williams. She was also able to look back and laugh at her gullibleness during the season, but she said if Williams ever reaches out to her in the future, she may engage in communication with him again.